be here. So yes, I am a law professor. I am a New Yorker, so it's very hot in New York right now. Hopefully my air conditioning won't make all kinds of noise. I am a writer, as you mentioned. I'm an author of 3 books about well-being for law students and lawyers, including The Introverted Lawyer, The Flourishing Lawyer, and one more called Untangling Fear in Lawyering. I have written this brand new travel memoir, which you mentioned. I am a boxer. I take boxing lessons. I'm a huge fan of Irish rock band U2, which you might hear a little bit about that in some of my stories. An avid solo traveler and a very, very, very proud introvert. So thank you for having me.
And you mentioned sitting in a cafe, outside a cafe, and I can feel the kind of cooling but the heat of the day with a limoncello. My husband, before we start, just bought me a long limoncello in honor, Heidi, of that particular part of your book, because it is beautiful, seriously beautiful.
About the blush, it would linger and it feels like your face is on fire. But now I actually welcome it, and I enjoy it and I appreciate it. And so I owe Erica Hilliard that for reframing, again, sort of rewriting my own script around my blushing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Being professor, I noticed that my top legal writing students were my quietest students. They were the introverts, and they were also the students that were the most afraid. They would confide in me, I'm afraid to do all those performance activities. So I decided to write The Introverted Lawyer, and also to figure out myself, because I couldn't really be a great teacher in that realm if I hadn't figured out my own issues. So I did. The book came out in 2017, a couple years later, and ironically, the introverted girl with the blushing issue was suddenly thrust upon the national and international public speaking stage. So I was getting all these requests to do talks about the power of introversion and lawyering, and people would come up to me afterwards and say, I'm not an introvert, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid to go negotiate or step into the courtroom or take a deposition or stand up to that bully. I had dealt with a lot of bullies in my lawyering career, which I write about. So I decided to write about fear, again, to figure out myself. And during that writing process, the Untangling Fear book, I identified my 4 well-being pillars. And that was the first time I'd sat down and done that. And they turned out to be writing, obviously. It's kind of fun to identify what our strengths are. And then the big branches of the tree are sort of 3 or 4 life domains that we want to focus on. So, don't want to change everything about our lives at once, but maybe we want to hone in on 3 life domains. And then the smaller branches